What's going on, YouTube? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin, Ethereum. We're going to look at Link, Litecoin, Tezos, and Digibyte. Those are the six we're going to be looking at today. If you like me covering those guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that notification bell. That's going to help you the most. Try to put out basically daily videos for y'all, keep you updated on this market. So let's dig into Bitcoin first. This is going to be on the 1 day time frame. Right now, guys, we are still having those very small short day candles right now. You can see a lot of fight between the bulls and the bears, but what I liked yesterday is this was our third day of these lower wicks that we've been having. So the buyers have been stepping into that area, and that was roughly between about 11,367 down to around that 11,140. So we do have the buyers now defending this 15 moving average, which we've talked about. A lot of the times when we're in this uptrend, we're going to pull back onto the 15 moving average or even down to this 30 EMA right down into here. That's very common for us in uptrends, but so far we have been holding this 15, which would show that this is pretty bullish here if we can get that continuation to the upside and get over top of $12,000 and turn that into support. But overall today, I just want to see us have a daily candle close higher than yesterday's candle close, which was around 11,822. Right now we're sitting at 11,739. But the nice thing that is happening along with these wicks that you can see here, we had a Harami pattern and we had confirmation the following day of a move to the upside, and it's also taking place with a stock cross down in here. So we're at 14 and 11, so we are in that oversold conditions in terms of the stock, which I like to use. I like to look at the stock for bounces off specific moving averages with candle formations at support, at resistance, all that different type of stuff, but I think it can really help you along the road. But for me, we really need to continue to hold 11,565, then it'd be down here around that 30 EMA at $10,874 is going to be the support. Overhead resistance, we're trying to get over top of that $12,000, have a daily candle close higher than we had yesterday. That's what's going to be important with this stock cross, hopefully on more volume is what I'm looking at there. So that's going to be Bitcoin, guys. Remember, that's on the 1 day time frame. Next, we're going to get into Ethereum, which is over $400 right now. It's so good to see Ethereum just really taking off here. We cut through, I believe it was that 417 was my previous resistance area that we were talking about the other day. You can see how I had this trend line here. We actually did have a trend line break on that, and it's correlating with this stock cross here, guys. So this is a really big deal that we've gotten up above this $417. What we want to do now is hold that as support, and you can see we actually wicked back to it and touched that. So if we're able to continue to move from this area, this really opens up a lot of things for us here. Our next overhead resistance would most likely be at about, I'd say, guys, a true level for us is going to be about $475. So we really have a shot to run up to around 470 if this wants to continue to move right now. And it's nice that we have room on the stock to be able to do that. And if we even go back to our RSI and take a look at this here, you can see that we have finally cooled down just a little bit. When we pump hard up into these areas, guys, we get up into the 90s. So the fact that we did cool down to about 62, I think that was important for us to get this next leg that we've had. Right now, we're sitting at 74, so we are in overbought conditions, but like I said, when I like to take my profits, it's at resistance levels with a bearish candlestick pattern when the RSI is up in the high 80s and 90s. I think that's the best time. Other than that, if you try to take it in the 70s, it's going to continue to run on you. A lot of the times when we're entering bull markets or we're in those upswings, it can really run hard and fast. So guys, if we are to start dropping back down, I would want us to hold that 417 first, and then it'd be back down around that 403 are going to be the support areas. Then, like we said, that 475 right in that range is going to be the area that I'm looking at to go back up and test next if we do really get some big surge of volume. There's some small areas like $430, things like that, but the main one I'd be targeting is around that $475 for Ethereum. But you can see Ethereum's really making some nice strong moves. We want it to continue to come on heavier volume is what I'm looking for there. So that's Ethereum, guys. You like me covering that, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're going to get into Link next. Link has just been so explosive. Congratulations all the people who've been in this. So for Link, guys, we are well up above our 15 moving average. The trend's been so strong, we actually gapped away. We're up above our 30. We're up above our 60. Main area of support that I'd want to hold here in terms of if we really got a nice retracement would be about $8.92. Then it'd be down here around that $12.86 is going to be a support. 1383 is going to be a support, and then over top here it's just blue sky breakouts. So basically that's the exciting thing about Link. It doesn't have all that overhead resistance like a lot of other coins. When it wants to pump, it can pump really hard, and typically what I've been tracking is, guys, after a big pump it'll retrace. It has been retracing about 3 days, right in that range when it's extremely bullish. 2 to 3 days. You can see up here we got a really nice pump. It was about 2 days, then we pumped again. Over here we had about a day, 2 days of retracement. This was our biggest retracement here, and this was roughly about 10 to 12 days that we had before we started moving again. But yet again, we tested that 30 EMA back here. We wicked down to it, just like I talked about in Bitcoin. When we're in these uptrends, we'll wick back to the 30s, most times stay up above the 15, and that's what's happening with Link right now. Overall stochastics at 96 and 90, so we are in overbought territory, and we are at 83.73 on the stock. You can see getting a little bit of a double top here, and there was some profit taking. We ended up getting up to roughly around $18.42, so just an explosive move. I wouldn't be too shocked if we cooled back down, maybe even down to around that $13 area, somewhere right in that range. So I would just be patient, but we'll have to see. You know, guys, if this continues to want to pump, it could just be a day or two sideways, and then we get a whole nother leg up. That's how these things work. So, you know, if you're a long-term investor in this is where you want to continue to let that ride, let it rip, guys. That is awesome for the people who are in it. So that's the Link. You like me covering Link, let me know down low, and then we're going to move into Litecoin next. And this is a position I have been playing. Remember how I talked to you all about how I was slowly laddering into this around that $55 range, 54, even down to 53. I was able to get some, and we're at 56, 51 right now. And what I liked about this was we were range bound. We broke out of that range. We have come back now. We wicked into that 30, just like we've been talking about right there. You can see we almost had a hammer candle here, and then we had basically almost like a bearish engulfing candle, very strong candle with a longer wick at the bottom here. Stock wasn't oversold territory, so now we're looking for that volume off here, and what I'm assuming is that we'll come back up here and try to test some of these areas around like $60 up to around that 63. If we can get over that, that's really going to open things up to around about $80 is where I'd be looking at if we can get over top of that 63. In terms of support, we want to continue to hold where we've wicked around that 53.02 is going to be the area that I'm looking at. But typically when you break out of ranges, you break out, you have heavier volume, you'll come back, test that area, and then you'll keep moving again. And that's what I'm assuming is going to take place with Litecoin here. But I already like the fact that I'm up a little bit in this position. Litecoin's been moving, got a nice little bounce off that 30 EMA there, and I'm just going to continue to let this ride with some stop losses below this 60. So that's what I'm looking at there, guys. That's going to be Litecoin. And if we take a look at trading view for Litecoin, we are at a 5 sell, 9 neutral, 14 buy, oscillators 2 sell, 8 neutral, 1 buy, moving averages looking strong there. So I'm just going to continue to monitor that position. That's definitely one I'm playing along with Zcash, Dash, quite a few other ones that I'm in, that I'm monitoring and just letting ride at this time right now. So that's going to be Litecoin. Next, we're going to get into Tezos. Let's take a look here. So Tezos is at $4.13. Take a look here. We are starting to get a stock cross to the downside on a little bit heavier volume there. RSI is at 66, so we're not crazy overextended. Last time we really pushed up high, the RSI got up to around 92. So it's possible to get up to 92 for Tezos, maybe even a little bit higher than that. But what I like is it's kind of setting up similar to Link. Once Link broke out of this top area here, we came back, we found some support, and then we really kept moving again. And that's kind of what we have here. We have these higher lows that are continuously coming in. So that means the buyers are interested in this with the increased volume here. So this is one, if it starts to break out too, guys, there's not going to be that overhead resistance that you have to deal with and you have to fight with. And the main thing is just keeping these higher lows intact. We're up above the 15, we're up above the 30, we're up above the 60, looking good there. If we are to cool down more, I'm going to look at support around $3.39 would be the area I'd look to see if we could get a bounce off of. In terms of trading view, for the technicals, we're looking at 3 sell, 8 neutral, and a 17 buy there. Oscillators in the buy, moving average in the buy. So things are looking pretty decent. They're just kind of moving sideways, waiting to see if we get that next pop to the upside. So that's Tezos, and then we're going to get into Digibyte. And if you like me covering Tezos, that's one I really want you to put down low and say, hey, I'm here for that. Otherwise, you know, we can start throwing other coins in. I just was really curious to see if that's the one that you guys wanted me to cover or not. So we're getting to DGB next. Digibyte, a lot of small day candles up here, but we're still just chugging along, guys. That's nice. We broke out of that symmetrical triangle. We back tested it. We're moving up. We're up above the 15, the 30, the 60. This is where you just want to continue to hold those positions. If you're in longer term positions, I would continue to hold it, let it ride, let it rip. You know, things can get very aggressive in this space. And if, you know, Digibyte wants to start running up to, you know, 4 cents, 5 cents, it definitely can happen very quickly. At this area, we have had a stock cross to the downside, so I want you to be aware of that. RSI is sitting at 66 right now, so we do still have more room to run to the upside. If we get into our technicals, we have a 3 sell, 8 neutral, and a 17 buy is what we're looking at there. Oscillators very neutral, 2 sell, 7 neutral, and a 2 buy. In terms of support, I would want to see us hold roughly about that 0.02603. But this is where, you know, guys, not financial advice, let it ride. If you're in a Digibyte position, you're a long-term investor, this is where you want to continue to let it ride out of that symmetrical triangle. It was consolidation. We broke up. Now we just need to continue that move to the upside. So that's what I'm looking at, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. God bless each and every one of you. Take care.